One of the best boxers wants to make a comeback, and he's decided who he wants to box. Emmanuel Dapijan Pacquiao Sr. CLH is a Filipino professional boxer and politician. Nicknamed Pac-Man, he's regarded as one of the greatest professional boxers of all time. He's been serving as a senator of the Philippines since 2016, previously served as party president of PDP Laban and representative of Sarangani. Pacquiao is scheduled to face Errol Spence for the first fight for his comeback, but has his second comeback fight already lined up. Let's have a closer look. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. Who is Manny Pacquiao exactly? Pacquiao is the only 8-division world champion in the history of boxing and has won 12 major world titles. He was the first boxer to win the lineal championship in 5 different weight classes, the first boxer to win major world titles in 4 of the 8 glamour divisions: flyweight, featherweight, lightweight, and welterweight, and is the only boxer to hold world championships across 4 decades: 1990s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s. As of 2015, Pacquiao's fights have generated $1.2 billion in revenue from his 25 pay-per-view bouts. According to Forbes, he was the second highest paid athlete in the world in 2015. In July 2019, Pacquiao became the oldest welterweight world champion in history at the age of 40, and the first boxer in history to become a recognized 4-time welterweight champion after defeating Keith Thurman to win the WBA super welterweight title. Pacquiao's other interests, in addition to boxing and politics: in basketball, he was the player-coach of the Philippine Basketball Association (PBA) team Kai Mahindra for 3 seasons before founding the semi-professional Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League (MPBL). He also starred in films and presented television shows. In music, he's released multiple locally platinum albums and songs. His cover of Dan Hill's "Sometimes When We Touch" peaked at 19 on Billboard's Adult Contemporary Top 20 list after performing it on Jimmy Kimmel Live. He is also an evangelical Christian preacher and a known philanthropist, entrepreneur, socialite, and YouTube personality. Pacquiao fought his last fight against Keith Thurman on July 20th, 2019. Pacquiao's return. Manny Pacquiao wants to challenge Terence Crawford to a fight that would net him 30 million pounds. The Filipino icon has not boxed since July 2019, with his comeback to the ring delayed due to the coronavirus pandemic. But he will waste no time upon his return with easy fights, as he called to fight unbeaten WBO welterweight champion Crawford. And Pacquiao has already laid out his plans to his former promoter Bob Arum, who currently works with Crawford. He told Daily Tribune, "I'd like to fight somebody who has a title. We told Bob I get $40 million and Crawford gets $10 million. I'll fight anybody. You know me, I don't back away from any challenge. Bring them on," he said. It was revealed in December that Arum had a deal in place for Crawford to fight Pacquiao in Qatar, but COVID-19 restrictions forced the mega money fight to be shelved. Crawford, 33, instead beat Brit Kell Brooks, 34, before the end of the year, but Arum is hopeful he can now face Pacquiao, 42, or Sean Porter, 33. Terence Crawford is also eagerly eyeing his showdown with Manny Pacquiao after his bout with Kell Brooks. Crawford is undefeated thus far in his pro boxing career. He has amassed a record of 36-0 with 27 knockouts along the way. He's regarded by many as the pound-for-pound best boxer in the world. Crawford successfully defended the WBO welterweight title against Brooks on November 14, 2020 via a TKO in the 4th round. During the relentless Terence Crawford special, Bud revealed he wanted to fight boxing legend Manny Pacquiao as he handled business against Brooks. "If I could fight all the fighters, and then walk away, Pacquiao would be the number 1. Spence, he'll be right after that. Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, and that's it." Crawford went on to say that he believes he can retire at any time, but bouts with Pacquiao and Errol Spence Jr. put the cherry on top of a stellar career. "I feel like I'm able to retire whenever I want. Truthfully, I feel like I've done enough to be in the Hall of Fame right now, today. When I look at fighters that's in the Hall of Fame, I say, man, I accomplished way more than them. So I think in my head, I know for a fact if I retire, I'm gonna be in the Hall of Fame. Champion in 3 different weight classes. Undisputed in the junior welterweight division. Fighter of the Year, ESPY Award winner. Everything that I've accomplished in the sport of boxing. So deep down in my heart, I know, you know where I'm heading. I'm not ashamed if I walk away from the sport of boxing because I'll walk away with my head high." What do the experts say? Derek James says Manny Pacquiao still has the intangibles that make him great and expects a tough fight for Errol Spence. During a conversation with trainer Derek James leading into the big welterweight showdown showdown between Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence, James discussed his preparation for the bout with Spence and why he's expecting a tough fight for both men in the ring. James said he thought Pacquiao still has all the immeasurables that make him an all-time great, and is sure the Filipino icon will be coming to win on fight night. I don't necessarily know. I think that all the experience that he has, all the experience that Freddie Roach has, I think that's what you lean on, is the training, your ability to remember how to fight these other guys. And he's always fought bigger guys, so I think that we'll see how well he does. It's going to be a very difficult fight for both of them. I think it depends on who figures it out better, and the thing about Manny is not so much about the left-handedness, but you're fighting a guy that throws 100 punches around for 12 rounds, James said. He's still got it. He still has the angles, he's still got those intangibles that make you great. That's what it is. That's who he is, and that's one of those things as a fighter, how he says, I can beat that guy. Manny ain't going in there to lose the fight. He's going in there saying, I can beat that guy, and I'm going to show you I can beat that guy. Freddie Roach didn't hold back when he was asked on the PBC podcast to make a prediction for longtime protege Manny Pacquiao's pay-per-view fight against welterweight title holder Errol Spence Jr. on August 21st in Las Vegas. Pacquiao by knockout, he said. Roach respects Spence's power, but he believes the IBF and WBC champ is slower and stands more flat-footed than Pacquiao's last opponent, Keith Thurman, who lost a split decision and his title to the Filipino icon. He's probably a better puncher, said Roach, comparing Spence to Thurman. He's a little bit dangerous. Pacquiao will have to be in and out. He can't stand and trade with this guy too much. He'll have to be very selective with what he lands. Spence is a little bit slow of foot, Roach added. He doesn't move that well, and his punches aren't the quickest in the world. I plan on Manny going in and out before Spence even gets started. Once Manny starts landing those combinations, and he'll get back out of the pocket in a safe place and right back in. A lot of footwork, a lot of in and out, a lot of speed. Manny still has all those attributes. So the prediction is, I see a good fight from Manny, he said. Again, Spence hits hard, but he's a little bit slow. We'll take advantage of this with his foot speed and hand speed. I honestly think Manny will dominate him and he'll knock him out. 44-year-old Mayweather Jr., who outpointed the former 147-pound world title holder May 2015, has urged Spence to take Pacquiao seriously. As Pretty Boy sees it, he feels the 42-year-old still has plenty left in the tank. He, Pacquiao, is very dangerous still, Mayweather said. Mayweather decisively beat Pacquiao over 12 rounds in May 2015 to end the debate, which had raged on for many years. However, he recently named the legendary Pac-Man as the toughest opponent he's ever faced in his career. Teofimo Lopez, like Mayweather, has also preached caution to his fellow American, noting that Pacquiao has more experience operating at a higher level of competition, which could turn out to be a big factor on the night. Anything can happen, and Pacquiao has had a long rest too, Lopez said. I like both guys in that fight. May the best man win, really. Manny has so much experience, he can get through anything as long as they have the right plan. Whatever they do, they'll have that. They'll be able to do all that. With that, we've come to the end of the video for today. What do you think will happen in Manny's next two fights? Free to leave a comment. Thank you for watching. Until we see you again, take care.